nights in white satin, never reaching the end. Letters I've written, never meaning to send.
Today it's the Moody Blues. I'm going to have the lead singer Justin Hayward here, and here's a quick sample of what you're in store for today. My pleasure this afternoon to introduce once again Justin Hayward from the Moody Blues. And every few years we kind of get together and catch up.
Yeah, absolutely.
For you, it's been over 40 years. And it must be the most asked question you get, right? How does a band stay together for 40 years?
Yeah, well, I have been asked the question a lot of time, obviously, but I think it's because that the music is enjoyable to play. It's kind of different to what other people do as well, so it has a unique kind of audience, and it's a lot of fun, and I think we're offered more work now than we were then, if you like. You tell me. I don't know. Where are the groups? We shouldn't be be offered this much work on the road, but we could work 365 days a year. It's quite unbelievable. Yeah. As a live band, I can't say that the CDs and the albums are selling in the quantities they want. The catalogue sure sells. But what people want from us is a live performance and live DVDs, and that stuff is just never ending.
Oh, you're being modest about the CDs and the catalogs. You sold
no,
60 or 70 million CDs.
I know, but I wish when we put a CD out now it would sell a few million. But they always use it to put a greatest hits out, and that does well. But
so many things have changed. I mean, I was thinking today when you started recording music. I can remember my very first Moody Blues song that I owned was on a 45.
Mm-hmm.
And they had LPs. Then we've been through 8-tracks.
Mm-hmm.
We've been through cassettes.
Mm-hmm.
We've been through CDs, now DVDs. Now
Yeah.
we're in iPods.
Yeah.
And what does it mean to you when it changes that quickly? Because for the first probably 20 or 30 years of your life, everything was 45 or LP.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then for the next 20 years, all of a sudden there's 4 or 5, 6, 8 different ways of recording music.
Yeah. Well, I think each involves a compromise, and the biggest compromise, I think, at the beginning of when the CD came in the 80s, was that people were in such a rush to put it into the digital format. A lot of it was done very badly, and I've been remastering. I was given the task by Decca and Universal to remaster the first 7 Moody Blues albums. Now, I listened to those digital masters that they'd made in the 80s and realized for the first time, I'd never paid any attention to this, how bad they were. So I went back to the original vinyl masters to finally do a definitive master of how they were on vinyl. And to do that, I did it in a studio in Italy, and there was an Italian super fan that I knew of there who used to come and visit the studio where we were making records and where I was working a lot. And he would stand at the front gate, Giustino, you're signing my thing. And so when we came to mastering the records, I'm only saying this because when we came to master the records, I needed to hear the vinyl again. I'd got some old vinyl copies, but they were scratched, dirty. But I knew old Albertino had the original still wrapped in the vinyl.
Wow.
So I got the studio manager to ask him in Italian, because it's quite a difficult thing to ask somebody, if we could play his Virgin records for the first time and hear what the original vinyl sound. Oh, but I've got 2 copies, he said, one that I've always played and one that I've never even opened. I said, well, now's the time to open them.
Uh-huh.
But what would they be? I said, well, just do it for the sake of the band. And so he brought all his albums around and we ceremonially opened them and listened to them, and they were quite different to what they were using on CD. So it was a real pleasure to hear them, and I made a lot of changes and made sure I went back to write the vinyl mix master and did it properly. So now, as you say, we have that SACD, Super Audio, and then 5.1. We just did the 5.1s, which were from the original Quad Masters. So that's interesting too, with the first 7 albums.
So has that been released?
Yeah, 5 of them are out now. You can find them on Amazon or in stores and things like that. And I hope they're the definitive versions of the album with all the original artwork and stuff and photographs around the studio and things that happened at the time. And the first 5 are out. The next 2 come out, I think, the last 2 come out in May.
Yeah, well, but all this must be good for musicians. I mean, every time you go to a different format, fans have to buy the new format. Well, I note that I have all Moody Blues LPs.
Yeah.
Not in the condition of
a vinyl, you mean?
The vinyl.
Yeah.
And I have a couple of 8-tracks, cassettes, and
sure.
And even the DVDs, I have when you did the Red Rocks thing, it originally came out. What was that thing called? A laser disc.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Right, and now
what happened to that? Yeah,
it's sitting on top of my cabinet somewhere.
You've got one. Yeah,
I got one. And now I DVD. I mean, so each time it's not a bad thing for the music industry, right?
No, it's not a bad thing. Moving to vinyl to CD was the biggest one, because then the artwork disappeared. That became not an art anymore, an art form, and that was sad passing. But all of these things are destined to change. I think that obviously the next thing will be just some piece of card with nothing moving parts or anything like that.